Nintendo just put out a 20-minute presentation giving a basic overview of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, coming out April 18th. But even though they shared a lot of really cool information, I am still left with questions. Will certain features come back from the previous game? How will some of the new features they're introducing function? I am here today to present those questions to you. And as I do, share your takes. Let me know in the comments what you think the answers to these questions will be. I am so excited for this game, and I am hoping that it will shape up to be the sequel the series truly deserves. But some of that will ride on the answers to these 10 questions.
Number 1.
Where in the frick is the concert hall? I've said it before, I'll say it again. The concert hall is the one feature of this game that if they don't include it, I will be upset. And in my heart of hearts, I do believe that it will be in this game. I think they know how much people like the concert hall, and they're probably just saving it for a later reveal or trailer. But just by the very fact that we haven't seen it yet, I'm a little worried and hoping that they have not dropped the ball here. You know why the concert hall is so important? It's because it embodies a part of what Tomodachi Life is. The original developers of Tomodachi Life said that Tomodachi Life is the kind of game where you just have to get up and show somebody what is going on in the game. And in that way, it becomes sort of a social experience. You see the wacky antics that your Miis are getting up to, and you just have to get up and show the person whose Mii is acting a fool. This was an intended effect of Tomodachi Life, for you to be able to share these things with your friends and family around you. And the concert hall is the best part of that, because it's something that you have a big hand in creating. All of the wacky animation and dancing and singing is there done for you, but you get to write what they say. And that is why it's so compelling. Because not only are you showing your friends and family what this Mii is getting up to just on their own, but it gives you the opportunity to be the comedy. Yes, you shape a lot of the things in Tomodachi Life yourself, but this one is special. This is the reason why I think it's so important that they do not remove the concert hall. Because where else can you get this kind of comedic creative expression in a video game? So here's my hope. My hope is that they are just saving this for the next trailer that comes out, and hopefully, what I would really like to see is that they expand on it. I went into great detail in one of my videos about a movie studio that I would really like them to do, which is kind of an expanded version of the concert hall in movie form. Or people have talked about using the concert hall as also a venue for stage plays. I would adore it if they found even more ways to give us the gameplay experience of the concert hall.
Number 2.
Can you still input the Mii's personal information? This is a feature that I'm sure not everyone will care about, but it's one that I particularly do. In Tomodachi Life, you could put in a lot of information about your Mii. First and last name, age, birthday. It's like you were creating a whole profile for this Mii. And I had a lot of fun just putting in my friends' personal information into the game. And I think some of these things are important. At least on the 3DS, it seemed like the information that you put in there was important to how the Miis interacted with each other. At least when it came to like age and birthdays and things like that. But I would often, while playing Tomodachi Life, and this may just be like a you know, something that's just weird about me, okay? I'm a little weird. I had fun just scrolling through my list of Miis and seeing their names and like being able to sort them by age or sort them alphabetically. It was just, I like that stuff. I like putting in all the information and having it feel like official. Like I get to scroll through these people, and it's like my catalog of people in my life. I know it's weird, whatever, but this is part of the game that I love. I raised this question because in the Direct they didn't show all of the information. I saw a place for a name, because usually in Tomodachi you'll have first name, last name, nickname, and the nickname is the one that they go by. I still want the first name, last name. I still want that. And all the other stuff. But I raised the question because we didn't see that other stuff. We saw some of it, but not all of it. I'm hoping that they just, for the sake of editing, just skipped over a couple pages or something of the information they could put in for the Mii. Tomodachi Life is just such a perfect game. I don't want them to take things away from it, as small as they may be.
Number 3.
Will the dialogue in Tomodachi Life Living the Dream be as robust as the last game? Now, I can't seem to go one Tomodachi video without talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I do apologize for that, but I was just so disappointed by that game, and this is the big reason. They put such an emphasis on customization and aesthetics in Animal Crossing New Horizons that the interactions with the villagers and the dialogue that you had between them really took a backseat, to where they would only have a few things that they'd say at any given time. And this is something that I really appreciated about the older Animal Crossing games and Tomodachi Life, is that you could keep talking to your Mii over and over, and it felt like there was almost an infinite amount of things that they could say. Yes, eventually you would have things repeated, but it took a while, at least long enough to where you'd start to get bored if you just kept talking to them over and over and over. And it made the characters feel alive, and that is the most important part of Tomodachi Life for me. It's really important that the Miis feel like real, living people as much as possible. It gives you those moments of, oh man, he really does say stuff like that. Or yeah, she would get herself into that situation. And I know that writing that much dialogue for a game like this is difficult, and that's probably why they have strayed away from it in New Horizons. But I think it's just so important to the core of this game, I am hoping that they have not backed off in this department. And this is one of those details that we will not know until the game is out and we're playing it. We will just have to wait and see.
Number 4.
What is left to see of the buildings that they've shown us in Tomodachi Life Living the Dream? For example, and I mentioned this in my last video, what is the difference between the Right Price building and the My Treasures building? Because before we had the pawn shop. There you could see the treasures that you'd accumulated and you could sell them off for money. That was the only purpose to the treasures. So what is this building that just says My Treasures? Is it some kind of collection? Is it a museum? I'm curious to see what is that going to be. Right Price, I'm guessing, is just the pawn shop. One of my commenters, Vanilla Mill 33, said, this might be copium, but I really feel like there's some sort of actual building attached to the bottom of the Ferris wheel. Maybe that has the concert hall in it? There we go. There's another detail. I definitely think that there's a building at the bottom of the Ferris wheel. Is it the concert hall? I don't think so. If they do the concert hall, I'm sure it'll be its own thing. But what is that building for? Is that where we play Tomodachi Quest? Because they separated out the marketplace from the Ferris wheel. So I feel like that building has to have something that you can interact with. I don't think the Ferris wheel is just for decoration and for cutscenes. There's got to be some way of interacting with it, just like you can interact with every other building on this island. So I still feel like there's a lot to see, and I'm hoping there's even more buildings that they've yet to show us. I mean, honestly, beyond the concert hall, I think we've already got a good amount here. The pallet house is a really cool addition, but I'm curious to see what really are all of the functions and purposes of these buildings.
Number 5.
In Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, can we still play games with the Miis? And I do think this is an important question, because in Tomodachi Life, the mini-games that you would play with the Miis was something that you spent a lot of time doing. And I think a game like this, from a gameplay perspective, needs that kind of thing. I loved a lot of the mini-games that you would play with the Miis. I've gone on record with my disdain for the catch game. I don't want that one to come back. But the guessing games, the games where you would have to know the information about your Miis on the island to be able to answer the questions correctly, that's the kind of stuff that I really hope is still in this game. And I find it a little odd that we haven't seen that. We've seen the dreams, we've even seen the little moments where you'll help out your Miis. A promotional image that Nintendo has put out even shows a little dialogue box where one of the Miis is saying, I need to sneeze. That was one of the things where you would help out the Mii. So we know that stuff is going to be in the game, but I find it a little odd that we have yet to see any of the mini games, at least none of the ones that we're used to seeing. If they have shown us one, like a new one, I guess we just wouldn't have known yet. But everything we've seen so far, it seems to be one of those two things, a dream or where you're helping your Mii out. So I'm really hoping that this is a part of the game that they just haven't shown yet, because I do think the game will probably suffer a bit if it doesn't have it. Quick aside, guys, and I promise it'll be quick. I just wanted to say a big thank you. Thanks to a lot of you who subscribed from my last video. I finally crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark. Woohoo! I'm very grateful to you guys. I just wanted to say thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm glad you found it and I hope you're enjoying it. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know you're here to talk Tomodachi, so let's get back into it.
Number 6.
How will movement and selection work in this game? I know this is a bit of a weird question, but it's something that I've been asking myself. We know that these things are going to have to be different from the 3DS game, because the 3DS game was pretty much entirely controlled by the touchscreen. And now that we have this whole island that we can move around and interact with, instead of just the image that we could click in and out of, these things are going to have to be different. Are we always going to be in this kind of overhead view? Can we go down further into the island and actually like walk around the streets? How do we select the Miis when they have an issue going on outside? Do we have some kind of cursor that we're going to be using? Or will it just kind of lock on to the Mii as we get closer to the middle of the screen? It's a minute detail on the surface, but this is stuff that they would have had to consider. And I'm curious what direction they've gone with it, because it doesn't seem like they've shown us very much actual, like, in-the-moment gameplay. It shows that we can pick up the Miis. That I really like. I even wonder if we'll be able to use, like, the sort of Wii Remote controls that Mario Galaxy used when they re-released that on the Switch. Because I really like that they're incorporating those kind of aspects from like the Mii games on the Wii. So I'm just curious how we are going to navigate this game, what it's going to look like, how it's going to feel. And again, this may just be something that we just have to wait until the game comes out to see.
Number 7.
How many Miis can you have on this island? I said in my last video, I'm not really worried about the answer to this question anymore, but I am curious. With Tomodachi Life having 100 Miis, I feel like that has to be the baseline. Like, I really don't think they're going to do any less than 100. I really hope they don't do any less than 100, because that feels like the minimum for this game, especially with how large you can make your island. I wonder if anybody's gone in and tried to count just how many houses are in any given screen on some of those shots that they put into the Direct, though I doubt that would be up to the max. So I do think the answer to this question is going to be very interesting to me, just to know what the limits are. Have they gone up to 150? Could they have gone up to 200? Or are they just sticking with the 100 that the last game had? If they go any lower, I don't think that's going to be good. 100 would be like the baseline. Any higher, I am excited for. Now, one of my commenters that I must say is very wise, very sage, very intelligent one of my commenters. They brought up this interesting detail about the pets that they showed in the Direct. Porch Prophet 1641, I must say, a very, very fitting name, said, to be honest, I'm honestly not even sure if this rules out 3D pets. All the other Palette House things they showed were customizations of existing items in the game. So I wonder if normal pets exist, but they just use them as the way to introduce the Palette House. And Porch Prophet, my friend, bless you. May your prophecy come true. Because it's very interesting. I don't think there was anything else in the Direct that was customizable that wasn't a version of something else. The food items, the decorative items, even the houses. These are all customizable versions of something that's already existing. Why would the pets be the one thing that's not? Now, I could very much see this not being the case, but it gives me hope. Because the pets were one of the things that I really want the pets. I like this little, PNG pet that follows you around. I think it's cute, I think it's fun. I will definitely utilize it, but I would really love to see actual Mii-style dogs and cats, pets in general, that you can give to your Miis. Check out my other video where I've talked about this before if you'd like, but yeah, it just raises the question, is the hope for real pets dead? Will we actually get to see real 3D pets in the Mii style in this game? Porch Prophet, I really hope your theory is correct. Also, another one of my commenters, who I must say is also quite wise, Ina Komodo, said, I'm wondering about something. In one of the clips they showed where you could purchase a random mystery bag from one of the shops, one of the items you could get was a lion. I'm wondering if that's supposed to be a pet item, where you can gift your Miis a random animal JPEG that can act as a pet as well. Makes you wonder what other animal options they included as pets. And I could also definitely see this being the case. When I first saw the lion, I just thought, oh, this is just another wacky one of the treasures. Like, oh, we can buy and sell living creatures now. But it would make a lot of sense if this was the route they were going for the pets. It would make it so they could include a lot of different pet options, and it would line up with how they present the food in the game, with the hyper-realistic images. So I could definitely see that being the route they went, and honestly, I would kind of like that too. It would make sense that that's the thing that you're customizing too. But ultimately, the 3D pets is what I would really like, at least if they just did dogs and cats and that was it. But I kind of like this idea of just having, like, if they went wild with it and just did a ton of different, like, any animal you could think of, you can give it to your Mii as a hyper-realistic PNG. I would love that.
Number 9.
Is the rankings board gone? Now, of all of the features that were in Tomodachi Life that I could see them removing for this game, it could be the rankings board. Not that I want them to, I really like the rankings board. I wanted them to expand on the rankings board, because I feel like the ranking board as itself was a little underutilized in Tomodachi Life. They had all these stats where your Miis would rank amongst each other, but there wasn't a ton that you could really do with it. You could do the compatibility tester, that was fun, but besides that, it was just kind of fun to see, who's the healthiest on the island, who's the most popular, and I really like seeing those kind of stats. I was hoping that they'd do even more with that. So that's my question. Have they removed it completely, or have they expanded on it, or have they just left it the way that it is and just haven't shown it yet? My hope is that they have included it and they've decided to expand on it, and so there's more to see. I still want to know who's the most desirable Mii on my island. I still want to know who's the most popular and the least popular. That kind of stuff it's interesting to me.
Number 10.
And my last question about this game is there any social or sharing function in this game? Now, this is a little statement on the Nintendo Japan website that I found through Reddit, through Google Translate, so take that for what it is. But I don't see why it wouldn't be accurate. That says, using local communication, you can send and receive your special Miis and items. Miis and items sent via local communication will not disappear from your island. Miis and items received via local communication cannot be given to other people. Miis and items cannot be shared via internet communication. So it raises the question, will we be able to share Miis at all? It doesn't seem like that's the case. Will we be able to share anything? I don't think that's the most important part of Tomodachi, nowhere close near the most important part of the game, but it's curious. I'm wondering, will there be anything that we'll be able to share? I really loved like the Check Me Out channel of the Wii and things like that. So that's the kind of thing that I really would have loved to see. I don't know how much social functionalities we're gonna get with how cautious Nintendo is being on that front. I know they haven't been a huge fan of how people use certain creative functions in their games, but I'm hoping there's something social. Even if it's just the functionality that the 3DS game had, the ability for your Miis to go and visit other people's islands and come back and give you a report. I do feel like it would be a little weird if there was zero online functionality, considering this is the kind of game that could really use it. This one is by no means a deal breaker to me. This game could have no online functionality, and I would be fine with it. It's just not that kind of game to me, but I know that it would make a lot of people happy if they did. So who knows? Time will tell. So what do you think, my friends? What do you predict the answers to these questions will be? Will we get the concert hall? Will there be minigames? Is my precious 3D Mii pup still on the horizon? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more crispy Tomodachi content. See ya!